Welcome to this introduction to Occult Crescent. In this video, I'm going to be going over everything that I've learned within the last 5 hours of playing on Occult Crescent. Obviously, the content is still very new, so if there's something I leave out, please leave it in the comments below so as many people as possible can see it and get that information. I would really appreciate that. I'm sure they would too, actually. But without further ado, let's get into the content. Now, first things first, before we actually get in there, we have to know how to unlock it. To do that, we're going to go to Tilt-A-Rhea at the unpronounceable Aetherite. From there, we're going to talk to the Expedition Messenger, and he will begin the quest chain of one last hurrah to get you started. It is important to note that you do have to be on a level 100 job of war or magic in order to do this content. Now, after you finally get in there, you're going to be hit with a whole bunch of information at once. But don't worry, that's why we're here, to break it down. Now, right away, you're going to notice that there's 2 different leveling systems. One of them is your knowledge, which essentially is your player character level. The other one is your phantom job experience. Your knowledge level is basically going to control how much damage you do and how much damage you receive from the monsters. For the phantom job, this unlocks different actions that you can get and different traits depending on the class that you're playing. One thing I really do want to note and really stress here is that in the challenge log, you get a whole bunch of not only phantom job experience, but also knowledge level experience by completing those missions. So make sure as you're going through the zones to do those as much as you can. One thing for the chain specific part of the challenge log is that in order to do that, you need enemies at least 2 levels above yours. And if you're doing it in a party, it's going to depend on how many people are in that party. For instance, if you have 8 people in your party and the average item level is 13, that means you guys are going to have to be fighting stuff at least level 21 in order to get that chain bonus. You can also tell what enemies you have to fight because there will be a little chain icon over their head. And the last thing to note about experience is that if you die and then you res yourself, as in you go back to the return Aetherite, you are going to be losing some knowledge points every single time. But you do not lose phantom job experience, only the knowledge. Inside of Occult Crescent, there are actually 2 different types of currencies. One of them is silver, and one of them is gold. We will be touching on these a little bit later. The next thing is critical engagements. Critical engagements will give you silver for completing them. You will get phantom job experience and knowledge experience too. And that also goes for the fates that are going to be popping up. I'm not 100% on this, but I know critical engagements or notorious monsters back in Eureka. In order to spawn specific ones, you had to farm specific monsters in order to do that. No spoilers, but there is a critical engagement quest that you're going to have to do in order to complete the main story quest for this area. And from what I've been seeing in Shout Chat, in order to spawn that critical engagement, you do have to kill a specific monster. So I don't know if that's the case for all of them or if it's just a specific one. If you know the answer, please leave it down in the comments. On top of that, critical engagements work a little bit differently than they did in Basja and Eureka. In this case, you have to be able to stand in this giant blue area. If you're not in that area by the time it expires, that means you are not going to be able to participate. But if you are in it, then you will load into the critical engagement. So far, I've enjoyed all of the fights that are in this zone. They all have a good amount of challenge, but also once you start to learn the mechanics, it's like, oh, I'm actually kind of good at the game. I like that. The engagements also don't have a level requirement, which means at any level you can go in and it'll sync you to whatever it wants you to be at. You will also notice as you're moving around in this area, you're going to find little chests laying around. Make sure to pick those up. Inside of them, they can have a whole bunch of gear. I've gotten mounts from Basja, I've gotten cosmetic pieces, I've gotten minions, and I've gotten a lot of materia while moving about the zone. So make sure if there is a treasure chest, you pick that up and see what's inside. There is also a critical engagement that you can do, which is the exact same as the bunny fates from Eureka. In order to find where that treasure is, all you have to do is click the little potion, and then it'll take you or point you in the correct direction to go. It'll either say south, east, west, whatever it is, and it'll give you a distance range of far, 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 or immediately if you're right next to where it is. I've also heard that some of the chests that you can find can also give phantom jobs, but I have not seen that yet. I don't know for sure if that's true. Now I know what you're thinking. You're like, Tip, this is all cool, but what if I want to go in there with some friends? Well, first off, I'm very jealous. I do not have any friends. But second off, don't worry, you can. In Basha and Eureka, I don't think that you could go into a zone with your friends in a party if there's a big level discrepancy and still get experience. But in Occult Crescent, you are able to sync your party level down to what is the average of the party. For instance, warning, incoming math. If you have somebody level 9 and you have somebody level 7 and you have somebody level 5, that will put the average party level 7. That's going to help a lot when you're both looking for the chains, which I would rarely recommend farming a chain group because doing them yourself really sucks and it is so brutal. But also it allows you to travel around with your friends, and by the way, if one of them has that riding map, definitely use them in a shared mount so you don't have to run around. Now, all of that stuff's out of the way. I know the next question. Till, how do I get all of these phantom jobs? I want them all. Very simple. 3 of them you could buy with silver for 1,000 each. 3 of them you could buy with gold, 1,600 each. And both of those are purchasable from the Antiquarian. The last 3 jobs are found through critical engagement drops. They are not guaranteed, but I myself have gotten lucky. And I've gotten the Oracle, which is from the On the Hunt Fate. The next one is the Ranger, that is from the Black Regiment. And then the Berserker, that is from the Unbridled. If you see those fates and you do not have those jobs, make sure to go there and try your luck, and hopefully you will be able to acquire those jobs, because Oracle has been very fun so far and I am very excited to try the other 2, honestly. Now, in order to progress the story quests, I'm not going to spoil anything for the story, but just know as you're running around, you can be finding these survey locations. Pick those up as much as you can, because in order to progress the quest, you will have to be finding those survey locations. The next thing is that there is zone-specific gear for inside of Occult Crescent. This gear will give specific bonuses to strength, and it'll give you a special attribute as well. You can then upgrade this gear up to twice, and you need, for the first augment, you need 3 Aether Spun Silver, which you can buy with silver, and you need 3 Ethereal Fixative, which you can buy with gold. For the second augment, you need 3 Aether Spun Gold, but this time you need 6 Fixative, which is purchased with Sanguinite from the Tower of Blood, which is the 48-man dungeon in this zone. In order to unlock that, you do have to complete the story, but it's not that much, and it's honestly kind of fun to do. And the last thing I have for this is, in this content, every single critical engagement that you complete, you get 10 Mathmatics tomes, which means you get to cap your tomes pretty quickly in this content. And again, I've been playing it for a very long time now, at least 5 hours, and I have been having a blast, and I have not felt burnt out or slowed down at all. In fact, as soon as this is over, I have raid, but after that, I'm going to be going straight back into Occult Crescent, and I'm not even going to sleep ever again, because I have so many different jobs to level and try out. The job plus phantom job possibilities make this content extremely exciting, and I can't wait to see what people come up with for different varieties of gameplay, but also just what's going to be crazy strong and crazy innovative. I am super excited to see all of these possibilities. But anyways, if you guys have done Occult Crescent and you have some opinions, please leave them down below. I know for me personally, I am absolutely loving it right now. The only thing that I'm a little bit sad about is that we can't level our jobs outside of Occult Crescent. So I can't be leveling my paladin while I'm inside getting my knowledge level and everything. Other than that, it's been an absolute blast. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If I left anything out, please also leave that there, and then I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, by the way, if you're also doing some cosmic exploration or you enjoy savage content, we have some stuff on this channel for you. See you in the next one. Bye.